All right, now we're going down the path of one of my favorite topics in chiropractic, which is patient education. This by far is one of my favorite things to do. I have had a passion for this for over 20 years. I love being able to give people analogies and examples and using novelty items to help them to understand chiropractic, what it is that we do and how it works. I just absolutely love this aspect of it. Now, there are some naysayers out there. I know that there's people out there that say, well, you don't need to educate. Look, you just need to tell the patient what they need. They just need to understand what it is that they need and deliver it. The medical doctor doesn't have to explain anything to the patient. Yeah, and it's also why our medical system sucks, because patients don't know what they're doing. They're trusting this individual who's giving them medication, which is destroying their lives. And people are becoming brighter. They're wanting to be more informed. And what I found personally is that my ability to help to educate them directly influences and impacts their certainty in chiropractic. And as their certainty goes up, so does the retention. They're staying around longer the more they understand. So if you're a person who feels like, hey, this is out of your league, go ahead, fast forward to the next video. But I'm telling you right now, you owe it to your patients to help them to better understand this, because most people still do not understand the power and the magnificence of the human body. They also don't understand what happens when there's interference. So it's imperative that we help them to understand chiropractic, give them multiple ways of understanding it, understand health, and understand what they can do to enhance that health through chiropractic. Patient education is at the forefront of that. So typically when you're looking at patient education, it kind of starts with one thing. What are you doing on a daily basis? Right? I know you have your day one and your day two, which are opportunities to educate. You might have external marketing things that you do to educate, but I'm talking about your patients. This is retention. People in your office, they've started care. Now you have to educate them to help them to understand why they need to continue care. That comes from your education. So, do you have a system in place for your first 12 visits? These are critical visits. These are absolutely critical because it's new. It's the courting period, right? You're excited. They're excited. They start to see some changes right away. It's imperative that you have a system in play for those first 12 visits. What do you do after those 12 visits? Are you utilizing a tip of the week? A tip of the week is a simple, and I'm not pushing it here. I have a program called Retention Secrets, which is delivered to you weekly, a tip of the week. So you have a topic to talk to patients about. It helps you to redirect any conversation into that tip, which is always something that is going to help them to understand their health, chiropractic, things that they can do to enhance their health in this one tip. Are you doing them? If you're not, and you're relying on hope, you're relying that, maybe you went to a seminar last weekend and now you're going to talk up chiropractic for 2 weeks, but 3 weeks from now, you're done with the conversation. It's not going to work. You can't wax and wane in this conversation. You can't come and go when you please. It's something that has to be consistent. I want you to remember this mantra. Increase patient certainty to increase patient retention. What are you doing? So you can do this through paper tips. You can do this through video. You can do this through email. You can do this through novelty items. But they mean nothing if you don't have a conversation about it. I know people who, I've got a 28,000 visit email campaign that we send to them. Oh, that's great. Are they reading it? Yes, it shows in my stats that they're opening the email. Are they reading it? Are you talking to them about it? Are you asking them what they've learned? Are you creating a dialogue around the material? Most people aren't. So patient education is extremely critical. It helps to educate patients. It helps them to become empowered and certain in chiropractic. So what can you do right now? Well, one thing you can do is brainstorm some of the topics that you'd like to teach your patients, that you think they would get benefit and value in helping them to better understand chiropractic and why they're coming in to get adjusted. And again, if you need help, look, at the end of the program, I'll make sure I put a link. You can check out Retention Secrets if you want a little help with those tips. But as of right now, you better have a plan in place. You better be educating them and stop talking about the weather, stop talking about sports, stop talking about clothes, and start talking about their health. Start talking about them and their life and what is possible through chiropractic. Now, part 2 of this is to add into your education testimonials. And namely, your ability to make sure that you have testimonials around your office. Yes, this is still patient education. It is social proof of people you've had in your office. third-party recognition of results. This is patient education at its finest. So in your exam room, you should always have maybe a patient of the month or some testimonials in there that people can read, especially if they're left in there alone for an exam. We utilize the Insight subluxation station, so they have to do HRV. They have to sit at a computer waiting for the results over a few minute period of time. Well, if I have this testimony in front of them, they can read that while they're getting tested. That's a good thing. So testimonials, maybe you have them in your hallway. Maybe you use one testimonial a month, patient of the month, and you share that with people so that they can hear the stories that other people are going through. That helps with education. It helps with hope. And it helps with referrals. It helps with retention. This one thing right now, if you just went and said, oh my gosh, I know the exact testimonial I want to do. You do that right now. The conversations you have in your practice for the rest of the week are going to be off the charts. The more people that read this. And if they don't, you simply say, hey, Mary, did you read the tip of the week? Or did you read Spotlight of the Week? Oh man, if you haven't read it, I got to tell you about this because it's so exciting. And it's some of the things that we've seen in your life and things that I know can happen for you. This stimulates conversation like all tips of the week do if you're willing to dive in. So roll up your sleeves. Let's get to work on creating your next 4 weeks of tips of the week. Do it now. Don't delay. And let's get to work.